We have been traumatized by these horrific laws and people being imprisoned for having weed, and it highlights the absurdity of not only it having been illegal and so crazy for so many years, but also highlights how the next generation will not believe our stories about it at all. There's a 0% chance they will understand what we're talking about. It'd be like trying to tell a kid now, like, hey, you know, pigeons used to deliver messages to people. They'd be like, the fuck are you saying right now? It'll be the same thing. I'm gonna sit my son down one day and be like, you know, when I was your age, to get weed, I almost died. And he'll be like, why? Was 7-Eleven on fire or something? They didn't sell it at 7-Eleven. Daddy used to get in cars with strangers. Where are we going? Chill out, all right.
Ahoy, tent pirates, plant parents, conscious consumers, and the morbidly curious. Welcome to Cultivation Conversation, a podcast for growers, by growers. Come chat with our hosts, Captain Autoflower, the Real Green Monster, and myself, Girl Go Grow. Grab a bouquet of your favorite flowers, apparatus of choice, and don't forget the fire while I tell you about the special companies that help keep this ship afloat. We are busy people, and we demand the best for our plants, so all three of us automate our grows with Autopots. Available in over 63 countries, gravity-powered Autopot systems rely on no pumps, no timers, and no power to operate. This plant-driven automated watering is so precise, it will reduce consumption of feed while increasing yield. An effective and efficient way to delegate a little responsibility. Let your plants feed themselves. Use code CC10 at autopot-usa.com. If quality is the name of your game, look no further than AC Infinity. AC Infinity's grow tents, lights, accessories, and ventilation systems offer reliability and affordability along with total environmental control. Use code CULTIVATION on acinfinity.com to save even more. Frass Valley produces the highest quality superworm frass. Naturally strengthen your plants and enhance their resistance to pests and disease. Use code CC10 at frassvalley.com. We are big fans of mass hydroponics. Whether you're a local in Massachusetts or accessing their full online catalog, they are your one-stop shop for all of your growing needs. Use code CC10 at mass-hydro.com.
What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land? How are you tonight?
What is up, motherfuckers?
Hello, my darlings.
Welcome, everybody. Hello, people joining us live in the chat. I see Master Yoda, East Ma, Nerd Grows, Reverend Pirate Frog, Maya Lore. What's up, everyone? We are,
Wednesday.
yeah, happy Wednesday. We are not coming at you live from MJ BizCon. Decidedly not at MJ BizCon, but we are at our own little MJ Growers Con. That's what we like to do here, guys. You know, we're not a product focused show here. You know, we like to talk about.
I have to say, I have a little bit of FOMO. Not for the influencers MJ BizCon, but for MJ BizCon itself. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's a pretty boring event from what I can gather.
Really? Everybody talks about it. It's like the end all be all of conventions.
So it does look like it would be interesting to walk around in. I mean,
right.
Like I'm not going to say
see people from the community and the industry, like that would be cool, but like
Yeah, hey, like
Weird
Hank,
vape stuff is just weird.
Hank's got the right idea. I'd go for free.
Yeah.
I'd go for free, but it's there's nothing free. Nothing is ever free. Let's put it that way, guys.
I think that there must be some pretty cool people there.
Oh, for sure. And I'm sure there's some really good weed getting passed around and like new products being shown off.
Fun.
But
It's more or less just like a trade show for cannabis. Like, you're going to see a bunch of overpriced gear that you'll probably never buy. You'll see some stuff that you might consider innovative, but it'll be out of your price range. And then you'll see some of the normal people that you would think to see there, like your HLGs and probably like, I don't know, I could be speaking out of tongue here, but like Build a Soil and companies like that. A lot of those guys like to have a presence there so they can kind of spread awareness about their brand. But you do see some pretty cool, like if you just go and check some of the Instagram posts, you see some like pretty fucking wild shit, like machines that can, break up your herb and put it into individual bags and fucking roll joints and fucking
the
all sorts of
Mylar
shit.
robot,
Yeah.
it trims it up for you, puts it in a Mylar pack.
Yeah. I don't know.
Does
There's a lot of
everything.
cool innovation in our community and in the industry, and I just think that's the cool place to see it.
There
so
is.
if that's not the place to be, like what's the convention that's the place to be? If you were to go to just one, say in the US, and all expenses were paid, which one would you go to?
Hash bash.
I'm not the guy to ask. I'd go to the local Kutztown Cannabis Fest, G3.
I have been there.
we got Amish
is
people
old.
slinging moon rocks. I mean, I don't think they have that at MJ BizCon, just saying.
That green corn.
But I agree. It's a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of at the same time, like I do feel like, there's a disconnect, okay, between the business side of things and like the real boots on the ground growers side of things. You know what I mean? Like there's a big disconnect, I feel like, between and it's tough too, because you get a lot of the, your influencers who are also promoted by certain products, and you can never exactly be sure if the info you're getting is just a commercial or if it's legit, like how they actually feel. It's a hard landscape to navigate, I always felt.
True.
So
Take everything you hear with a grain of salt.
oh, absolutely.
Do your due
I mean,
diligence. Lots
Kind
of
of like Hank
research.
said, if it was free, I'd go, but I wouldn't pay like any of my own money to go to Vegas just for that. Like, if you combine it with other shit, but I mean, anybody that's been to Vegas can tell you 3 or 4 days of Vegas and you're fucking done. Usually 2 or 3.
A sensory overload. That's just. But the whole thing
Well-
just has to be such a spectacle. To see it would just be. I mean, what a commotion.
Not gonna say never. But what I'd like to eventually maybe do is something like DGC. They have their own festival, their own little convention. It's just like people bring their own samples. I'd like to one day crown a Cultivation Conversation cannabis grower champion. You know what I mean? That'd be cool.
No, definitely. I'd like to see something like that.
Yeah, one day we can dream. So, what are y'all smoking on tonight? The looming question.
Go first. I got some Supreme Leader here.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. Talk to us about her.
tell
So
it.
this one's always hard to describe for me because I feel like she's kind of unique to other stuff I've grown. I get like a hazy, cushy vibe from her, but then almost a little bit of like citrus on the back end. I did definitely quite enjoy it a lot. And I didn't get much of it because I had to cut down pretty much all of my plants in the greenhouse. But I did manage to harvest a few of them. And I don't think the camera's going to do it any justice here, but it came out good. Good outdoor smoke.
It looks very nice.
I'm looking forward to running her indoors. I broke the top of this one off, but I mean, it's good sized chunks, nugs.
Nice.
You know, it's got that. It almost reminds me. It reminds me a lot of lemon carver, honestly.
Yeah, I would say I thought it had like a nuttiness to it.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Like a nuttiness.
Nuttiness.
Fucking nutty, dude.
You ever smell? Used to be a very common holiday smell. Roasted chestnuts.
Chestnuts roasted on the open fire.
For sure, dude. You got a surprisingly nice voice, man.
Thank you, sir.
Coming at us from that nice
sauna.
with those angled
The
walls.
acoustics
Yeah, very
are
nice
stellar.
acoustics in there for sure.
Rocking the Autopot water bottle. Had this one for a while. It's been washed so many times the fucking anodization is peeling off. But
Oh damn!
I like it because it's metal, so that it insulates well. Throws in the bag. Perfect.
Hell yeah. Well, if you're listening, Luke or shoot, now I'm Manny. Sorry. Send one over my way. Captain needs an Autopot water bottle, but and G3 too, right? She needs one.
The songbird of our generation.
He is. He can carry a tune, man. I didn't know that. Holy shit. How about you, G3? What you got in the bong tonight?
So this is some Goondocks that I have
Oh, nice.
here. So she's fun. She, like, last time I smoked her, which was a little while ago, she gave me like a sagey white wine thing, but then I gave one to Cap today, and his wife is saying that she's getting something different, so now I need to go like smell it again and see it in the jar.
So
I don't know.
I think there was some terp pollution. Like there was some spillover. Like it was not contained.
It wasn't
Yeah.
Contaminated
we had some terp
terps.
contamination for sure.
Is this like the movie Outbreak?
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Like
Damn
the end of ET with all like the plastic everywhere. Oh man, it was
That was
scary.
terrifying.
That was scary when I was a kid.
Scary times, yeah.
Terrifying.
I was like, what are they doing to poor E.T.? Elliot!
I know, right? Terrible. So yeah, G3. I'm sorry. Were you giving us a description of?
No. She got it. Good ducks. She's good. Like her.
Nice.
Fun. She's a
And
good show strain.
That's from our buddy Goonie
Goonie
Genetics. Of course. What's up, buddy? And I wanted to say too that Supreme Leader from our friend Joint.
Yeah. Yep.
So go. I think they're both still in stock, on their respective websites. Go check them out.
I'm not sure about the Supreme Leader. I could be wrong, but I don't think
Maybe
that's
not.
available anymore.
Maybe not. Message Joint. But yeah, I was lucky enough today to I live close enough to G3 that I can practically yell out my bedroom window and get an answer from her.
You guys hang like
Not exactly.
You guys use the string in the tin can?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I put a jar in a sock and I put it across the clothesline between our two houses to deliver it.
That'd be
Just
actually
like
pretty
that.
dope.
Just
No pun
like
intended.
So I took a little drive over that way today and picked up some of the purple Pantaranya from our friend Alabrije, which G3 was tasked with growing this plant, and Alabrije thinks it's the purple weed to make even the purple weed haters kind of eat crow. Right?
Yeah. No pressure or anything, G3.
So, I must say, just, I want to give it its due diligence here, man. This is, spectacular looking flower. I mean, we were talking about it on the last show, I think. Like, the live plant was a stunner.
Thank you. She was a pleasure to grow. So All
Yeah,
credit to
easy
the
to
man
grow.
himself, because those genetics are.
Well, you did a great job, obviously. I can
you.
tell you that. And, camera never does it justice, but
Really doesn't. Especially
you
live cam.
Nah, you can make out a lot of purple, obviously. And
Is it one of those ones when you break it up, like the grinder's all like blackish purple?
it's
Yeah.
a deep, dark purple,
Yeah.
yes. And,
But it really comes out when you break it up.
Oh, yeah. But what's
Yeah.
really nice about this one, as opposed to some other purples I have seen and smoked in the past, is that, like, it looks like white. It's white colored to, like, until you start looking at it more closely, just because it's so covered in trichomes.
Yeah, she's a frosty girl.
Very frosty. And, that's not like, I would say that's not like exceedingly common for purple strains to be just super, super frosty. At least in my experience. So, yeah, but first glance, I'd give this, like, bag appeal, easily an 8.5, very nice,
That's solid. Yeah.
nugs. Exotic color, what's not to like, ground up some right here. And this is definitely the one that's giving off, like, a deep tropical, dark tropical kind of vibe. Like, what are some fruits that you would get in, like,
grapefruit, citrus.
I got
not grapefruit. I would say, like, passion fruit, guava, those types of, like,
Yeah,
if
I
you
got,
ever
like,
get
grapes into hibiscus and jasmine.
okay, so like
what
a
I
grapes
got
and
from her.
floral.
I get the floral on the end, the jasmine's at the very, very end. And then, like, a lot of hibiscus, and then she was a lot of grapey. But now that you say guava, that might be in there too. Because
It's
you're right, there's
definitely-
something a little, like, juicy and dark.
And it's like, grapes, the easy one. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say grapey, but it's more, I don't know, it's more exotic than that. It's more
Okay.
je ne sais quoi.
Dried cherry and wild blueberry, says Stony.
Okay, well, we'll just have to defer to the chef. Let me smell it again, knowing. I mean,
And
no,
for those of you who don't know why we call Stoney the chef, he's one of the best meth chefs around. Dude cooks the bomb diggity.
you know what? Now that he mentions dried cherry, and that's a very specific,
Yeah, I have
Terp.
to check that.
the dried fruit. Now I
And
see
he
what
is speaking from experience
Mm-hmm.
because he has grown this himself. So he hasn't smoked this one specifically, but he has his own. So he does know what he's talking about.
Yeah, like it. All right, dried cherry. Like, all right. So, have you ever eaten those dried cranberries called craisins?
Yes, they were around long
You
before
think?
Ocean Spray
Craisins. Yep,
named them
I'm
Craisins.
gonna have to go upstairs and check that
craisins.
now.
Dried, like, dark berries. That's totally it, man.
Yeah,
It's
I can see the grapes shifting into that. Because I don't get
cool.
really grapey from her now. She was grapey when she was growing. But yeah, there's something. That's cool.
What a
I'll
little
have to check it.
So, smell. I mean, it's a very potent aroma. Like, I mean, I'm gonna have to give it like a 7.5. 8.
Wow,
Like,
that's-
it's
Generous.
it's a very nice, strong smell that you can notice as soon as you open the jar, open the ground up weed. And granted, G3, none of these have anything to do with, like, your grower abilities.
Please, like, tell me terrible things so I can get better. Don't blow
I
hot
think-
air up my
I
ass.
think
What use does that do me?
I'm gonna assume you grew her better than I could have, better than 99
I
out of
didn't
100
grow
people
her.
could've.
The Audubon system did. I set her and left. Had nothing to do with this thing. This is a combination collab
listen.
grow between Alebrije and Autopots.
In my mind, it involves like Tale of Newt and like some sort of. You got like some
Yeah.
magic.
Frog?
You got magic,
Yes.
is what I'm trying to say. And I don't let me peek behind that curtain. Because I just want to.
Double
Just let me.
toil and trouble.
Exactly. She has some magic. I don't know what it is. That's why she's such a good grower. But yeah, this one. So, all right. Let me pack up another one. Get a little fresh hit. Because what I do, if I'm gonna give you some judges' deductions here, or not you, but the purple weed.
Yeah.
I would say that it's not maybe as flavorful as some other, it doesn't, the terps from the smell don't transfer to the taste as well as some other strains do or can. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean by that?
Yes.
So let me just double check that. And get myself a little bit more stoned in the process. Hold on.
You fucking pothead.
I've been called that once or twice.
Yeah. So get used to it, Johnny. This is the new digs. We're gonna set it up a little bit better, but this is it.
And
I'm not in a corner.
He's like Harry Potter under the closet.
I'm not in a corner. I have a whole room to myself. This is not a corner. But thank you for your concern.
Oh, that's funny, man. All right, now I mean, it's a more subtle terp profile. Like it's not gonna just like jump out on your tongue, but like it's there.
Yeah. So
it's good.
does she make the tip of your tongue like a little tingly? Does she numb your tongue a little bit?
No.
Not at all.
Can't say that she does. No, not at all, actually. Mm-hmm. Why, does she do yours?
Just a little bit in the beginning. Yep.
Interesting. I mean,
That's the wonderful thing about this plant is that everybody has a slightly different cannabinoid system.
Yeah, isn't it? It's funny how that works.
Mm-hmm. So those puzzle pieces fit a little differently in each of us.
So if I'm, ranking like taste, it's a solid 5.5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can taste something. It's not hay. It's a dried fruit. Like not like key lime terp profile.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna like be real bright and like prominent.
And part of that may have been some slight terp loss from the dry itself because the cola on this girl was 6 inches across at the base. She was terrifying in a way that I have never experienced before. And I was not going to risk losing her because she was so dense all the way through. So instead of drying as a full plant, she was chopped down a little bit and some of those colas opened up, So she dried not super fast. I really like to be over 10 days in my dry, and she was closer to like 8.5 or 9. Maybe very, very early 9, if it given a 9. Maybe 8.5, really. So a little early for me. I really like her to take them a little longer. So that could have affected it, certainly.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's something I want to get into tonight a little bit too, is, harvesting and when we're going to want to do that and what to look for, all that stuff. Because, I got a big harvest coming up.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, my God. But I do, before we wrap this little segment up, I guess, like, I got to hand it to Alebrije. This is a far better purple weed than most, I would say. Like, it ranks in the top tier of all purple weed that I've experienced. Truly, I'm very impressed. I am being as honest as I possibly can. I'm not
We appreciate that. That's what we want.
It's,
Why else are we here?
right? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not, he did a great job. I still think green weed's better.
You should grow it, though. Has it maybe convinced you to grow this
Oh,
particular
absolutely.
plant?
Absolutely,
There you go.
yeah.
So that itself, I consider a win.
For sure. Yeah, I like this I would not like. Listen, if I had this in my stash,
Are there like any green phenos?
I'd smoke.
Or is it just all purple?
She is all purple. I think, no, there is a green pheno, I think.
I bet you that'd be the one.
I don't know.
I think that there is a green pheno.
There better not be if the strain's
There's
called
one
Purple
I know-
Pantarania.
Yeah, there's one that like starts super, super early and goes purple super early. And then there's one that goes purple after the beginning of flower, which is what I had, the pheno that I had. And then I think there
Gotcha.
is a green one. You'd have to check with the dude.
Well,
so.
It's awesome.
And congrats to him
awesome.
on his
Yeah,
recent
really.
drop. Sold out in like 5
It's
minutes.
awesome. Yeah,
Killer work.
dude's
Yeah.
a celebrity now. Holy shit.
Yep.
Yeah, this, like, if I had this in my stash, it would not sit unused. I would smoke the hell out of it. So yeah, cheers to that, guys.
I will be really interested to know what you think of the effects of this, because I mentioned this to you before, but I really feel like Alabrije's work, they often have like a superpower in them. Like his Tangy Tibaguano was really wonderful music wise. I called her a musical prodigy, and I still stand by that. She makes music that much better, makes you hear things you didn't hear before. This one, I find her really introspective, so she's amazing for like meditation or therapy or shadow work or any of that stuff where you're kind of in your own head. But she can be a little savage. If you haven't dealt with something, she kind of throws it in your face a little bit. It makes you think about it. And that's not very comfortable sometimes.
It's gonna
but she's
reveal your
great.
inner demons.
Yeah, she's a little bit like Mercury retrograde. Like if you have your shit handled, it's all good. But if not, like, ooh, baby, we got some work to do.
Oh my god.
I like her.
You should have told me that before I smoked her. Like, I didn't have my therapy session this week. All my childhood trauma is gonna come to light during the show. Oh my god.
You're going to come back next week and be like completely enlightened as a human being and be like, you have no idea the amount of work I have done. That'll be great.
Interesting.
Yep.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, no, I have to say, I mean, Blue Zeroso, I think is in my like top 3 autoflower strains. So I don't know. Maybe he's got the magic, the witchcraft. He's putting it into his breeding work or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Don't know. So yeah, let's talk about harvesting a little bit, guys. Shall we?
Yes.
Let's do it. Like what are we doing? Where are we? Who even cares anymore? What's it all worth? Is anybody listening?
42.
Do we all
Let's
just
move on.
want free grow tents? The cultivation conversation grow tent bundaroo.
I mean, kind
Is
of.
that what we're all here for?
Go down to your local grocery store. It's all set. Just tell them you want it. From Cultivation Conversation.
It's all set. The guy will look at you like you got 2 heads.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Monster told me to come down. I said it's all set.
Try it. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll work. I mean, shit. If you're a scary enough looking dude, I just think you're trying to rob the place. Monster told me to come down here and get my free, my free shit.
Man, who the fuck this monster fellow?
Oh man. So, when do we harvest? What do we look for? What are the signs? Yeah, all the questions, guys. I mean, G3. Why don't you lead off since you just harvested a couple plants?
I mean, there's a whole number of them. So I guess I'll start with, Well, one of my favorite things is foxtails. I know it's a little obscure, but I really like reading foxtails. You have genetic foxtails, but most of the time you get foxtails when you push stuff a little too far and they're like done growing in their nice flower form and they're like, all right, we're finished. Let's go. And then you get cute little foxtails on them. I like those. So yeah, foxtails. If you have foxtails all over your stuff, if it's really like if it's at the end of your grow and you're starting to see foxtails, time to chop.
That's definitely one side. A lot of those can come from heat and stress too. But
It's all timing wise, multifaceted reason.
I feel like this is a hard thing to generalize into one definitive way because there are certain plants that behave differently. And you might.
Well, yeah. So it's one of like 10 things you got to look at to get the full answer.
I mean, the first thing I'm doing is snapping a picture with my phone and the flash, and I'm looking at the trichromes, and I'm taking a good look. But there are certain strains I feel like they just won't even ripen up until you cut them down. So you can usually tell by looking at them, when the plant is ready. But I mean, trichromes, in my opinion, is the ultimate judgment. But it's not going to always serve you right because there are certain strains I've seen them you're like, dude, I've been flowering this shit for like 10 weeks. They're not ambering up. Chop them down. I promise you they'll amber up quick.
I think you need to have at least 3 solid indicators that the plant is done before you can chop.
Okay.
And whether that is overall view of the plant as a whole, that like bud density and size. Does the flower look like it's the appropriate width and density for it to be done? Or does it look a little scraggly for the general makeup of the plant? Okay, that's one of them. You got stigma colors, pistils colors. You've got, trichome ambers or not. You've got foxtailing. You've got any one of a number of things, how much water are they still uptaking? Are they drinking a ton?
That's a huge factor.
Were they drinking 2 gallons a day before and now they're drinking almost next to nothing? Now she's almost done. What's your coloration look like? How's her leaves look like?
That's actually a great factor that people don't think about enough. How much the plant is drinking. That will generally tell you, the end is coming.
It's the crazy person out on the corner with a sign, the end is near.
Yeah.
But so I agree with both of you, okay? Like, I think that harvest window is determined by like a more holistic view of the plant itself, not just trichomes and whether or not they are amber. And everything G3 mentioned, I would also list as key factors with, like Masa said, if it's drinking as much as if it stops drinking a lot, that's going to tell you right away. It's just like it knows it's done. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It might stop, like it might slow to, I mean, if I'm given a percentage, maybe 30%, 25% of what it was drinking in its peak performance mode, maybe even less. So, but I want to kind of focus in on what Monsta mentioned first, which is the trichomes. I think anyone, would mention that perhaps first, even if you're going to give me like, well, there's a number of things I look for, maybe the most important of which is trichomes. Now, Monsta said it great. You can most people have a good enough phone that you can get a macro shot of your trichomes. I think it's probably easiest to do it with the lights off and a flash.
Lights on, lights off. Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter. As long as you get a good steady shot, like, you want to like make sure your phone is still and your flash is on and you're not getting a picture of the leaves. I think a lot of people, you'll see those trichomes amber up first. You're looking like somewhere down like the middle of the bud.
Exactly what I was going to ask.
From a calyx, preferably. And you can get a a good photo with your phone in the flash, you'll see it and then you can zoom in on your photo and you can see the trichome development.
So we don't want to look at the leaves, not even.
No, it's useless.
It's all about the calyxes, the buds themselves. And I would even look at a bud that's
and not at the top of a bud either.
Halfway down the plant, yeah, like the middle of the bud, not exact, yeah.
Yeah, because the top part of the bud will always ripen first. You want to look towards the middle. Now, I'm not telling you that the information is useless, like trichomes off a leaf. If you start to see those amber up, you know that you're close. You're getting there. Because towards the end, those aren't going to be amber the whole time. But they will ripen much quicker than the ones on the flowers.
So, and that, I guess that's why some people do a staggered harvest. It makes sense when you think about it like that. I mean, I don't like to do that, and that's why I'm looking for that middle bud, not at the top, not at the bottom. It's right in the middle, so I get a more an average kind of view of what's going on in the plant. I know the trichomes on the buds above that are going to be more ripe. I know that the trichomes below that will be less ripe. Pretty much, maybe might be, a couple outliers. Who knows? Who's checking?
You.
The pot police.
Pot police. So, but that's definitely an important factor. With kind of the general principle being that the more amber the trichomes when you harvest, the more sedative of an effect you're going to get from the weed. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Maybe all of our cannabinoid systems are different. I don't really know.
It's turning into CBN.
So it's a degradation?
Yeah.
100%, especially in the
amber
terpenes.
Is degradation. That's why technically when you see the amber, it's a little. Some people consider it overripe, but that's when you're starting to see, okay, we've hit these ones have hit its peak and they're slightly over. So that tells you how much of the plant is there.
Gotcha.
I've been told by hash makers that kind of like what G3 said, the ideal harvest point is literally
right,
in a perfect world, minutes before those trichomes get amber.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. So, I think you mentioned it, Monsta. So, if it is a degradation and the ambering is just kind of the cannabinoids shifting, they're turning from THC
from THC
into CBN, CBG, CBGB.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah,
I
have to double check that. But I think
it's CBN.
CBN.
Yeah, the biggest thing you're going to notice though, if you let them go too long, is the terps. They fucking evaporate. You're going to lose a lot of them.
Interesting.
And I see people make that mistake a lot, especially new growers, obviously.
Where they just wait too long and I need to see amber.
I want 30% amber. Where does this bro science come from?
Because
it's literally as soon as I see
couch lock, right?
Yeah,
amber is couch lock. Supposedly,
as soon
I'm
as
putting
I
up parentheses
see
so you can't see me.
a little bit of amber on a middle section of the bud, I'm harvesting that shit. Because I know as soon as I turn the lights off for a day or two and then chop them down and hang them, you can go back and look at those same trikes. They'll be amber. They mature real quick.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. That, and I think I've seen that. Now, I can't, say for sure. But, look, I know I've harvested plants when there wasn't much amber. And then looking at them under the same microscope, maybe 4 weeks after I chop them down, put them in a jar, it's wow, where did all that amber come from? This looks 15, 20% amber, if not more. I think,
When you
I mean,
buy a banana from the store, it doesn't stay yellow forever.
Great point, G3.
so it's like an oxidization
It's
process, or like
continuing to ripen, to decay, to degrade, to
to just
it's part of the.
Yeah.
I mean, the plant is dying. It's part of the decay process.
interesting.
So
That's why I would
from
challenge
the moment
people-
you chop it. Yeah, from the moment you chop it until when it's completely dry, it continues to decay that entire time.
Yeah. That's why I always tell
sense.
people to harvest before they think they need to. Like if you're close and once you chop that bitch down or put it into darkness for a day or two and then chop it down, you're gonna notice that it'll ripen quickly.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is that. So, like, I guess that logic would kind of tell you maybe you can harvest a little sooner than you think you need.
Yeah, I think too, and you'll get a better smoke. I think, especially in the terp department, because that's what we're all after.
If waiting too long to harvest, A, degrades your terpenes. B, it might cause foxtails. I mean, not that that's the worst thing in the world. Or like, C, your trikes are going to amber up and ripen after harvest anyway. It's just like, I don't know. Everything's pointing to sooner rather than later as far as harvest window. It's interesting.
I would say so.
And then you have to figure out if you do that 2 days of darkness stuff. Like, how do you even know when to do that?
How do we feel about that? Is that,
a little crazy?
Something I practice.
For sure. It's like whether or not it's bro science, okay? Like I really don't care. I can tell you, like, I've done it both ways. I've harvested my plants with a dark period. I've harvested them without. And whether or not that's just anecdotal experience, like, take it or leave it, guys. I can only tell you what I know and what I've experienced. And that is the weed I gave a dark period to was smoother, cleaner, I
can tell you emphatically 100% you don't
experience.
want to harvest during a light period. That's ridiculous. You definitely may want to make sure it's your dark period. Don't be going in there and harvesting with the lights on. That's just fucking stupid.
So it's at least during like the natural 12-hour dark cycle that you'd give your plants, maybe towards the end of that even, give it like a full 12 hours. Cool. Because, you're not like exposing them to light and like letting the terps volatile.
No, because as soon as
and stuff.
look, everybody knows when you cut down plants, like, it smells to high fucking heavens. So any type of heat or light aggregation, you're trying to minimize that as much as possible, and then get them into a nice dark, cool room. That way, you're going to degrade, less terps that way. I promise you, like, the way you harvest degrades terps if you're not careful.
There is a stress response that's released. The plant freaks out when you cut it down. It knows that it's dying, and it knows that it's not dying in a way that time is responsible.
Yeah,
so, like any living creature, it's gonna freak the fuck out. Kill it in its sleep.
Kill it.
No, GT's right.
It's the humane way to do it. Is also the most savage. No, I mean, look,
at the end of the day, this plant's working for us. Like, it's the boss in the grow room, but when it comes time to harvest, I'm the fucking boss, bitch. So I want to maximize that as much as I can.
100%. 100%. Yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting topic. Gee, I just can't stop thinking about G3. Kill it in its sleep. I need that clip.
That's the nice thing to
isolated. Isolate that for me, guys, please. Yeah. So harvest sooner rather than later. General rule of thumb.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, after harvest, Monster said, you can, we all know we can fuck up our or harvest real easily. You know, okay, no, I know where, after I got distracted by G3's great quote, I wanted to mention, like the stress response, the smell, like we all know the smell of our harvest day, right?
Oh, yeah. Your neighbors do too.
Yeah, exactly, man. For sure. And it's like, it could very well be, like G3 said, a stress response from the plant that, like, you're losing terps. Those are terps you're never going to get back that the plant is making that are leaving the plant, okay? You have to be very careful when you harvest, maybe gentle. Also do it when it's least expecting it so it doesn't have time to freak out. But it's interesting too. It's like grass, right? Like when you mow the grass, that's the smell of like mowed grass is the blades of grass like telling the other blades, you know, like, yo guys, like you're about to be fucking chopped. Like, heads up. It's like a pheromone thing. Like it's
Yep.
doesn't just exist for no fucking reason, you know, like it's chemical signatures that the plant uses to like communicate with itself or other plants. Yeah, it's just crazy to think about all this stuff, you know. Growing weed
wild.
is cool. It's super cool.
We have to be concerned about the well-being of our plants because our plants ultimately determine our well-being, right? You want the best in so you can get the best out. It's that easy. Just treat it nicely. I also recommend, like, if you're going to chop it, do it with a sharp blade. Do one snip, like, all the way through. Like, don't hack at it. If you don't have a sharp blade, get one.
One fell swoop. That's,
One
you know, why
fell
I
swoop.
like to do, like, you know, chop it at the stem in its sleep, you know, when it's not looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like lops, those are great.
Yep. The big choppers for sure. Like
Cindy Loppers.
The Cindy Loppers.
Cindy Loppers.
And yeah, girls just want to have fun. They do. Or girls just want to be done.
Yeah.
Just don't wait to harvest. Girls just want to be done, right? That should be her song. Sing it, Monster.
Time to break out the
beautiful voice.
Time to break out the guitar, Cap.
Girls just want to be done.
You'll never get me to do that. Sorry.
Oh man, we
How
have too
close
much
are
fun
you
here.
to chopping? You're like,
It's
You're
in
going
that
vacay
2-week
soon,
window. Like, I mean, so like knowing this information we just talked about, you know, it's like, am I gonna wait 2 more weeks for these things to, like, they're bulked up, you know, like they're heavy as fuck. I look at them and I see a bunch of plants that are begging for the sweet release of death, you know, like they are just fucking ready. Captain, please take me now, Captain, please.
should you release
Do it.
How far along are you?
oil?
We're at 63 days into flower, so that's 9 weeks, full weeks.
Yeah.
You know,
I push them to about 70, maybe 75. I mean, a lot of those strains go longer, right?
that was my intent. I don't know. The skunks, now that I did, of course, you know, you guys are going to want to like do some research on the strains you're growing too. Just pro tip. You know?
Yeah, that's one thing we didn't really talk about, actually. You know, like,
Yeah, breeder.
you want to use that.
recommendation times.
Yeah, you want to use that as a baseline. Don't take it as
Breeder.
gospel.
Yeah. They'll
Because
usually
you're
give you a
certain-
window.
Your environmental conditions are going to impact that. And when I say environmental conditions, I mean like everything, like lighting, heat, humidity.
Right.
Light
Remember,
schedule,
these
what
are
you're feeding
these
it.
breeders' genetics. Like, they know how to grow them to their best possible potential. They know these plants inside and out. What they
As
want
long
from
as
them
you're,
at every
you know,
given time.
using a reputable
like-
breeder.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, hopefully, you're doing your work finding good breeders. Oh,
You mean you
bring
don't
those
buy them from
plants home.
ILGM?
Oh goodness, not anymore.
Oh, the Google told me to, though. That was what I saw. You know? I researched how to grow marijuana.
Yeah. Click that first link. I feel lucky.
It's almost like a threat. You know what I mean? Like fucking Google. Like, are you feeling lucky? Are you?
Punk.
Exactly. Because you know I'm not going to give you a fucking credible result. You fucking know I'm not going to give you what you want. You know it's going to be some sponsored fucking bullshit. But
I feel like search engines have gotten worse because of that shit. Because people are paying to get to the top and
It's all
have
pay
their
to
shit
play.
there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous now. Like, you're almost better off using a third-party search engine with a good algorithm. One I've been actually fucking around with, I heard it on the radio, so I figured I'd give it a shot. It's called DuckDuckGo. It's like a web. It's a private web browser that doesn't track you or anything like that. Seems to be pretty good.
DuckDuckGo. Yeah, I remember that.
And I get better results when I use that for a search. So
Oh yeah, man, it's amazing sometimes if you use like any other search page, whether it's Bing, DuckDuckGo.
Bing.
Bing, is that are they even that's still alive? Ask
Hell
Jeeves,
yeah.
holy shit!
You remember fucking Ask Jeeves?
Wow, that's something I haven't heard that one in a long time.
Wow.
Fuck yeah. It was like,
Ask Jeeves, holy shit!
what were the things I was asking Jeeves back in like 2002? I don't even remember. Man.
What is the average dick size?
Shut
Do girls complain about size?
How'd you get in my browser history, motherfucker? God damn it. You can't laugh at yourself, guys. What can you laugh at? Well, yeah, no, 2002. What a lifetime ago, right? Can you believe it's been 20 fucking years?
No, it hasn't.
Yeah.
I can't at all. Well, 21 years, I should say, almost 22.
Wait till you have kids. Time just flies by even faster after that. It's fucking unreal.
I bet, man. I bet. But yeah, no, for now, my plants are my kids, and my life, like I can, you probably like can gauge your own life, like in like the life cycle of your kids. Maybe you're like reflected of how you're aging and how they're aging. You know what I mean? For me, it's like plants and like how many grows ago it was. Like it feels like.
Like
Man, that
dog
was
years.
6 cycles
How many
ago.
grows ago?
Oh my God, that's like, wow. What a fucking forever ago. But I will say, I remember every plant I've ever grown. Like I can still like visualize every plant I've ever grown. And maybe that'll stop at some point. Like, I don't know. Is it like
I wonder when
number of
your
people you
brain
slept
plant
with?
capacity.
At some point, you just stop counting and stop caring. Once it gets too high, you're just like,
I couldn't tell you how many fucking plants I've grown.
Well, there you go. That answers my question.
Yeah.
Monster the player. He's like, I can't even tell you how many girls I've been with.
Ooh, that body count.
Wait.
Can't remember them all. But yeah, no, for sure, I am going to be harvesting earlier than I imagined, guys. That the old adage of like just 2 more weeks, bro. I think we can put that to rest. I think we can.
I love that response. Like, that's the first response you see, like, on any forums, like Reddit especially. People ask, like, how far? It doesn't matter. It could be like this big.
It doesn't matter at all.
2 weeks.
2 more weeks. More, more CalMag.
Yep.
So the thing's just all foxtails, and it's like I'm on day 162 of flower. Should I
Still no
harvest?
tomatoes.
No, 2 more weeks, bro. Keep her going. But yeah, I'm gonna go up and reevaluate my whole situation now after this convo. So, and then I mean, it's a very important thing. You know, we don't want to fuck up the grow is important, yeah, but it's like it's the harvest and post harvest that really determines like the highest of high quality, as we've mentioned before. So it's like, you know, you want to make sure you nail all those components. So
Surefire way to fuck up a beautiful plant is to fuck up your harvest and cure. So
amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
I've said it before. It's more important than the grow, in my opinion.
yeah, I'm
Because I could take subpar weed. I could take subpar weed and dry and cure it right, and it would be more pleasurable to smoke than the best weed I've ever grown that was dried like shit.
I'll agree with that.
Very valid.
Absolutely. You could turn like, I mean, it's the best looking plant, the best smelling plant when it was alive, when it was, you know, that picturesque, plump, juicy, beautiful buds you see on Instagram. Like, I mean, if you fuck that dry up and it's like way too dry, you can shrivel that thing up into fucking hay smelling garbage. You know what I mean? It really
Dude,
is.
I tell people this and they don't believe me. I'm like, listen, you really need to pay attention to the dry because you're going to fuck that up. And they're like, no, man, look, it smells amazing. How can that just go away?
No.
Right, bro.
No. Now, you know, I have to imagine that, like, you know, following, as is tradition, like next week, perhaps we'll have to get into some in-depth conversation about the drying process, okay? I did want to bring this up, though, real quick, because I thought this would trigger you, monster.
Oh, goodness.
You're lucky I'm nice and high at the end of the show here.
I thought this would trigger you real good. Now,
I'm such an easygoing guy, but I definitely get triggered easily. Here we go.
So, this is from a company called Canatrol, right? They make a product.
They make a $2,000
Wine fridge.
Drying product, right?
Yeah.
$2,000 wine fridge. You know, that's a gross oversimplification of the technology that is.
Can you make that a little bit bigger?
Proprietary technology, sir. Let me see here.
Control plus. I don't know if it does that on or command
Look
plus.
at that. Boom, 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 boom.
All right.
It's really $2,000.
So, all
3.
right. And this is their research that they want to claim, you know, their technology delivers a 16% average higher terps than like a regular, you know, when they say legacy 60-60, that's just, you know,
What's
the
standard?
traditional method of using, you know, 60 degrees.
Now,
60%
I'd be willing to
Fahrenheit.
buy this bullshit actually more than I would buy Scott's bullshit because I could just smell a fucking turd from a mile away when that guy starts talking. This
That's
though
the
is like
herbs
actually,
now.
yeah. So like this here, like I know, you know, a little bit about this company. They've actually done some research and a lot of R&D into getting a product that is optimal for drying. And listen, if they're giving me those numbers, I'd probably believe it.
You know, I would, my response would be like site source, please. Like, may I see your source, sir?
How can somebody tell me how long it takes to dry in one of these machines as opposed to like a 2-week 60-60?
I've never used one. Okay, I've looked into it. What I have seen people say that, you know, reviews on this product is that it's like a 5-day dry. It's a quicker than average dry. But the thing is that it like leaves it like keeps it in ideal conditions. Then like post dry, it's like a curing process that's actually, you know, like it's a lot. It's a fancy gizmo to give you a perfect, you know, drying conditions. Now, what I wanted to highlight too is this lingo, this jargon, okay, that you see at the bottom here, right? Canatrol samples were held at 68 degrees dry bulb and 54 degrees dew point. So, like, I'm not a meteorologist. I don't know what the fuck those values are. I have no frame of reference for what that means or how that relates to, you know, a typical just like RH, you know, like the normal number that anyone uses. Like, is that any different than 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 60% humidity? And like, if so, how different? The fact that they're using different measuring units, it just reeks of we're here to confuse you, and you know, we want you to think this process is harder than it should be, and you need to spend $2,000 on our product because, you know, higher terp levels as demonstrated by our scientists. Can you tell I'm a little skeptical?
Listen, I think the thing works great, but for $1,600, I can set you up a state-of-the-art dry room that can dry a lot more than this fucking thing. And look, you're going to get flat spots on your buds. You're going to, like, how much can this thing really hold? Like, for instance, if I'm going to take down a 12-plant room, I'm not fitting 12 plants in there.
No, that wouldn't hold that would not hold my harvest for sure. But I
don't even think that would hold most people's 5x5s.
You could probably fit about 12 wine bottles in there.
So for $1,600, you could set up a sick dry room, fucking cedar dry room, for crying out loud. I mean,
like the one you're in right now?
No, this is pine. Yeah, no, I think it's a little bit overpriced. I'm sure it works great. Like, but I mean, look, no, just no. Nope.
Yeah, like, it looks cool.
Does it?
I mean, I think.
It looks like my toolbox with like, except
my favorite influencers use them. I think they're really cool. No, I don't know, guys. You know, like, it's a lot of money. Again, like, I think 60-60. Okay, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here too. Hold on, stop sharing. There we go. Like, 60-60 is not just a cannabis thing. Okay, it's used across like agriculture. It's like to, you know, dry a flower properly, like to do it without degrading the thing, like to do it with keeping its good smells and all that stuff. Like it's the low and slow method used by a lot of different spheres of horticulture. Okay, not just cannabis. And it's like like during the gold rush, you know who got the richest? It was not the miners. No, not the people mining the gold. It was the people selling the miners the shovels. Those are the people who really experienced the gold rush, okay? So, like, keep that in mind when, you know, like, we're the miners, okay? We're the ones, like, we're growing the flowers, right? And, like, just use that analogy do with it as you will, guys, is what I'm trying to say. Like,
do you need a diamond-encrusted shovel? No. Could you use one? Sure, absolutely. If that's what floats your boat, I'm sure it works just fine.
You get me.
But there are easier ways to do it.
Can you imagine if they had, like, influencers back in, like, the gold rush in, like, 1849, back in, like...
I'm sure in some ways they did.
My name's Jebediah McClintock, and I use Levi's gold-encrusted shovel tips.
I mean, they did. They had celebrity endorses. That's all it is. Like, now, like, instead of, like, you still see celebrity endorsements, but now, like, the cheaper alley for these companies is to pay, like, especially, like, you know, look, like, let's be honest, like, pretty girls or, like, buff dudes to, like, advertise their products. because sex sells better than anything else. So they pay these people, shit money. Like, let's be honest, like, to them, it's not shit money. Like 20, 30, 50, even $100,000 they'll pay these people to promote their products on social media. You can't even sniff a real celebrity for less than a couple of million. But these average, like, fucking people who are, like, influencers, have a big outreach. Like, look at some of these hot chicks I follow, like, on Instagram. They got, like, a million fucking followers and shit. Dude, like that. You know what I mean? Like,
you should. Monster's telling me all the time, like, yo, you gotta see this hot chick I follow on Instagram. sending me links and shit. Dude, that's what social media is, man. Like, it's. I can't say like. There's times I love it. There's times I hate it.
I don't even post on there
no
anymore.
Relationship.
Fucking
as long as you take all of it with a grain of salt.
What I hate about the social media thing, guys, is that, like, the true, like, art gets lost in the marketing, in the who can we partner with to hype our brand, like, way more than it's deserving of being hyped. Like, the true craft of anything, whether it's growing or fucking making beaded jewelry, for Christ's sake. Like, there's someone out there right now with like this fucking lit beaded jewelry Instagram page. I guarantee you. And it's just like these overproduced videos and reels, and it's just like, do you really think the best beaded jewelry maker is devoting much of their time to making those social media posts? Like, the true artists just fucking keep their head down, balls to the wall, nose to the grindstone, and most of them aren't, like, doing much hyping of their shit. It's just, that's what annoys me. It's like, the people that are deserving of the hype oftentimes don't get it.
Ain't it the truth?
Related to that, but I don't want to go down too deep on a rabbit hole here. I saw a thing on the news the other day that a lot of Etsy sellers they're not actually, like, craftsmen, like, making this jewelry. They're, like, buying it on, like, Alibaba or, like, Temu, and reselling it for a huge markup.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
No, it's like,
very true.
It's just a little PSA for people looking to maybe purchase Christmas gifts for the holidays. Etsy isn't what it used to be. Be careful who you're buying from. Make sure you're looking at reviews, and because otherwise you could just be buying shit from China that you could have just bought from China.
Good
and
Lord.
if you can shop local small businesses, always use that as an option.
Yeah, you're always better off.
For sure. Even if it is a little more expensive, honestly, like, I don't give a fuck. I kind of miss, what, like, made me a little sad this year? It was, like, Black Friday. Used to be, like, remember Black Friday, like, fucking 10 years ago? When, like, 2012.
Dude, that's another thing. Did you see what people were doing? They're posting these videos online. They're like, so, like, say the price, it's like a little sign, like a Black Friday deal. They pull out the price behind it from the original sale, and it's the fucking same. Like,
really?
Yeah, like, a lot of these Black Friday sales, like really aren't like
sales, dude. Like, there used to be, like, fucking 80% off, like, a big screen TV, and you would literally go and like trample people at Walmart to go get that shit because there was a limited amount of them. You gotta line up, and guess what? If you gotta fight a grandma or two to get your hands on that TV, you gotta do what you gotta do. And
it wasn't even that long ago. I mean, I did this 4 or 5 years ago for a PlayStation 4. Like, it was a good.
What, you fought grandma?
No, Black Friday.
Right.
So they waited in line, they got up early, and all that jazz for a good deal on a PS4. But there were some good deals. Like, I saw a 45-inch TV for fucking $98. I mean, it's probably shit, but I bought it just as a TV for the bedroom because we needed one anyway. So, I mean, for $100, like, not really. It's like a sore prick. You can't beat it.
Man, I mean, it used to be we got actual sales. Okay, I remember, like, really, really good deals, and, like, I just don't feel like yeah, it's just not the same anymore.
It's just not.
It's not the same.
No.
Ain't what it used to be, man. Back in my day, we used to fight grandmas and shove little kids out of the way to get our hands on video games and shit. No, shit. I never did any of that.
No, part of that too is like
giving.
Part of it too is like we've kind of overused that term. Like you'll hear it all year round. Like Black Friday pricing, it's fucking June. Like, no, seriously. Like it's more. You see that more and more. And like Black Friday week, all week long, we're having these fucking specials. It's like it's makes it not as special.
Yeah, true. I don't know. It's just like it's lost.
And
lost its luster.
There's a lot of factors to this, though. Brick and mortar stores are going by the wayside, so more and more people are ordering online. So that takes a little bit of the like people trampling over each other to get a fucking doll or whatever, like the hot doll. You know what I mean? Like a Tickle Me Elmo or whatever the fuck. You know?
Tickle Me Elmo, dude.
You remember that extravaganza?
Oh my god! Hell yeah, I do. Core memory was I was in New York one year for Christmas, smelling those roasted chestnuts on the streets, and like fucking dude comes out literally like trench coat style, like to my dad, like he had Tickle Me Elmos in his trench coat, like, yo buddy, you want to buy a fucking Tickle Me Elmo? my dad jumps on the opportunity. He buys all of them. Five Tickle Me Elmos for $500 each, I think, which was like a steal because you could sell them on fucking eBay for double that at the time, right? So he did exactly that. I just thought it was hysterical because it was like something out of a cartoon.
They were really going for that much. Like, I remember.
We probably got a deal.
Chaos.
Like, you buy 5, you got to get a little discount.
But I don't remember them going for that much. That is.
Oh, it was expensive.
Absurd.
Yeah.
You got to remember, parents will do anything to please their spoiled little fucking demons.
For sure. Now, keep in mind, G3 too. A lot of people don't remember. Like, back in the '90s, on like, what a video game in the '90s cost more on average than it does today. Like a new video game costs like $69.99. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. You want that new Mario fucking Zelda game? $70 back in 1996. It's what you spend on the new like Call of Duty today. It's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Call a poopy.
It's just nuts, man.
I haven't played any of those games in so long, but I guess people are all up in arms about the latest Call of Duty. I guess it sucks. People are all pissed.
It's another first-person shooter. They're all the same at a certain point, aren't they?
Well, especially Call of Duty games. I mean, they've been the same for a long time now. It's kind of like Madden. They just reskin it and sell you another game. At least Call of Duty is not every year, or is it? I don't know. But Madden's every year, and it's just bullshit.
If you've played Wolfenstein or Doom, you've played them all. Ain't that the truth? But yeah, so right back in the day. All right, so I'm trying to look on Patreon here. Let's see if we have any new people. Of course, the page is hard to read, so I can't exactly see.
You'd think that they would be able to get their acts together.
Yeah, it really is crazy.
For as much money as they're making, like for those people don't know, they take 8% of whatever we get. So like they should, and there's people that have ridiculous Patreon supporters. They're making money hand over fist. They need to make it better. Like especially the app. The app is borderline useless. The Patreon app. It literally is. But for creators anyway, it's borderline useless. Like I can't even get a full list of Patreon supporters on the app.
Dude,
like if I open up the app, there's no way to get like a list of Patreon supporters. Just isn't. You have to go on the computer and do it that way.
All right. Well, I don't think now looking
I don't
at
think we
it,
have any new ones
I don't
this
think
week.
we have any new ones. So I just want to thank everyone who has signed up. Remind everyone we do have a Patreon. So yeah, go over there, support us. Even if you don't feel like doing that, head on over to the Discord. That's always free. It's a resource for you guys, really, truly. Like as much as it is a fun place to hang out and post memes and
Which it is.
Another way to support the show is head over to our website, click on any of our products we use page that links to Amazon. You don't have to necessarily buy anything from there, but if you just click on one of those links and then continue to do your Christmas shopping, we get a little bit of a kickback there.
cool.
Now, I've mentioned this a couple times. Nobody seems to really do anything with it. So, yeah, it'd be nice if we get some little bit of traction there.
Yeah, it would.
It's free to you guys.
If you're doing some Christmas shopping, go click on one of our links first and then do your shopping. Boom. Supporting the show.
Bam.
Bam. Well, and yeah, thank you guys, everyone who joined us live, and even everyone who listens out there in podcast land. We love you all, and
We love you all.
wish nothing but the best for your gardens, for your holiday seasons, and just happy you're all here with us. So thank you. It got a little corny there at the end. So let's just.
That's all right.
Getting a little sappy, All right, guys. Anything else you have tonight for us? G3, Monster? Anyone on the chat?
Take care of your business.
Speak now.
Right now, you're not doing everything you can to the best of your ability to be the best grower you can be. Step your game up.
I
Pick
like
one
that.
thing you think you can do better this week. That's a great
A
idea.
little motivational speech.
Just one thing to do better.
Yeah, and clean up your fucking grower. Act like fucking we're going to come by and inspect that shit. I can't tell you how many grow rooms I run into that are just fucking disgusting.
You should be
I
able
can't believe
to
you grow
lick
plants in here that you
floors
smoke.
of your grow room.
I thought this was going to
Your
be
plants are like a sponge. Like if your whole surrounding is filth, that's what your plants are absorbing is filth. You fucking
Clean
animal.
up your shit, you filthy animals.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a motivational speech, not a
It is motivation.
admonishment of my. You disgust me, private.
If the shoe fits.
I've seen
Captain
shit
feels attacked.
stacked higher.
Talon on yourself.
Just use it as motivation. Don't. There's a better grower in all of us. Let that person out.
Amen.
Until next time. Don't get caught. Peace out.